Is that it?
Yeah, that's why they pay you the big bucks.
So
Here comes.
is going?
Almost. There we go. Hey, you're walking.
Looks like there's a time delay.
Can you guys see me?
No, we don't see you.
See me?
No.
No, we cannot.
Can you guys see me?
Oh,
We don't see you. She's not hearing us. It's a parrot.
no, we should be good.
We got it now?
Should be good to go.
Okay. If we are ready. Sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. I will call Greenville City Council meeting to order. Before I ask the clerk to call the roll, if it's okay with council, I'm going to take liberty here just a few moments. This past couple of weeks, we've lost some prominent people in our community. One being Barbara Fee, who was a former city treasurer. I think she served for about 11 years in that term of office. She passed away a week or so ago. And also we have a retired firefighter whom I knew, Mike Garvin. Had the opportunity to work with his wife in my position as in education at the County Office of Education. And also we have lost Bud Monfiglio's wife, Janine. But particularly with Barbara Fee, she served the community in more ways than one. And I always look at Greenville as the community, and the community is not just at the city limits, but it's far reaching. So if you will, please join with me in just pausing for a few moments in honor of these people, Barbara Fee, Mike Garvin, and Mrs. Bonfiglio. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we will continue with our council meeting and ask that the clerk call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Here.
Schmidt,
Here.
Whitaker.
Here.
Those of us here in the chambers, will we please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Approval of the minutes. You've all received a copy of the last meeting's minutes via email. Any additions or corrections? Seeing none, they will stand approved as presented. Approval of the current financial report. Once again, you received copies of the financial report from the auditor's office. Any additions, corrections, and a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to approve the current financial report from the auditor's office. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Okay, excuse me, approval of the agenda. I have not been given any additions or corrections to the agenda, nothing to add, nothing to strike at this time. So I would entertain a motion that we approve.
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion by Mr. Schmidt to approve the agenda as presented. Discussion? Call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
And public hearings, once again, we are a bit at of a drawback with not having public here in the building present, but you have the opportunity to meet and converse with us via the YouTube. So if anyone wants to address council, they may do so at this time. Please give your name and address and state whatever it is that you care to share with council at this time. It doesn't look like there's anyone. You're on, okay. Well, if no one cares to address council, let's move the agenda and go on to administrative reports. Mayor Wellman.
Well, the first thought was to maybe not say too much, but move this meeting along. I would like to say a couple things about lately. We had a couple meetings with economic development, and Ryan and I, Mike Bowers, we visited here lately, visited Fram Corporation, see how things were going along out there, and meet. We have met Mr. Swagel a couple of times, but he is now the new plant manager. So as of late in the last few months, so they seem to be getting some things together, a little more communication, he hopes. So, and they are looking to hire. They've been hiring people. And so they're only getting about 1 or 2 out of every 15 or more than that. 10 out of 50.
They want 20.
They're trying to get 20 some people. Same thing with Carbonics plant. They happen to have a new plant manager. Had a little conversation with somebody from there, and they were able to have him step outside. He can't go in the building, but Ryan and I ran out just to say hi and greet him to Greenville. His name is Jeff Delbridge, new Carbonics plant manager. He came from a gas supply company, so he understands gases more and their properties. And of course, they compress carbon dioxide into dry ice. So that's their process, from the gas to the liquid, then to the solid. So wish him well, and we're planning on having a meeting with him sometime. Go to lunch or something like that with Mike Bowers, and so that welcome him more and have a little discussion now. So other than that, of course, you all know the horse parade has been canceled. So it's a shame, but here we are last minute. But spike, everybody knows, and seeing the spike in the virus, we have maybe more than 200 more people with cases over the weekend that have been positive. So it's we don't know where that's going, but everybody should be healthy, be safe, be careful out there. So I pass.
Thank you, sir. Safety Service Director, Mr. Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only thing I have tonight is that the remainder of the lamp posts for 3rd, 4th, and 5th have arrived, and the street department has started installation on those today. And hopefully they'll all be up by the end of the week, along with all the Christmas lights. And they were trying to get everything ready for the horse parade, and now with it canceled, but Christmas lights are still go. Christmas is still on, I think. So with that, I'll answer any questions, but I pass.
Don't speak too loudly.
Hey, Ryan, I wanted to mention the downtown, things are looking real nice. I've seen the crews out working and putting the lights up, and just wanted to make a comment about that, how nice it does look. And I did have one question or just a thought. I know the limb pickup is over for this year. But I didn't know with the winds that we had this past weekend, or if I haven't been around town much to see myself, but if anyone had any issues, if they did have anything big that had fallen, would we be willing to pick that up, or is that a possibility, or not at this point?
Yeah, I'll have to check and see where their budget stands and where they stand. But yeah, absolutely. We've done that in the past after a wind event. I honestly I haven't heard if they had an overabundance of calls the last couple of days or not, but I'll definitely check it out and see what we can do.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I haven't really seen much myself, but I know the wind was pretty strong there for a good bit of time there over the weekend. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Law Director, Mr. Raymond.
Thank you, President Burkett. Just one thing for this evening. Most of the resolutions and ordinances are carryovers from last week. There is one new one. That new ordinance, what it does is it allows and creates a standard contract for us to replace lead service lines. That way, the city's been doing that on our half. Now we've got a standard agreement in place. If you were all to approve it this evening, that we can go ahead and help the citizens out as well and replace their half at a fixed rate. They know what it's going to cost. The ground's already opened up because we're replacing our rate, our half, and it just kind of solidifies that process. So that's the one new thing that we have for this evening. I'll take any questions anybody has this evening.
That's all spelled out in the legislation.
That's correct.
Okay,
The standard contract is attached to the legislation.
okay, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you, sir. City Auditor, Mrs. Woman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I also have one comment to make regarding tonight's legislation. Under item 8, supplemental appropriations, there's one for $40,000 to fire new equipment CIP, and we are removing that as it's been appropriated in a previous month. So that one item is being removed.
Okay, now I say, okay, it's under item 8.
Correct. I believe
Uh,
it's the third item down.
That's listed in the summary. So strike the 40,000.
Correct.
Okay.
And with that, I pass.
All right, thank you. Next, under committee reports, out of the Utilities Committee, we have the sewer hookup for the Tom Bish property on 5680 Meeker Road, which is outside the city limits.
Greenville City Council, October 28, 2020. Honorable members, we submit our report. The Utility Committee met on October 28, 2020 at 1:00 p.m. in the basement of the municipal building to discuss the following: sewer hookup outside the city limits, location 5680 Meeker Road, Greenville, Ohio 45331. The recommendation is for Tom Bish at 5680 Meeker Road to hook up to both water and sewer service and to pay all tap-in fees. The law director is to prepare the necessary legislation authorizing the mayor to enter into contract with the property owners. Respectfully submitted, Committee on Utilities, Chairman Clarence Godwin.
Did members of the committee sign that?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Who do we have here? Mr. Baumgartner and Mr. Wright.
Mhm.
You may I have them sign that, please?
Is that where Keith's Towing used to be?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Thank you. Good. Make sure that those are signed before you turn them in. That way we know that all members of the committee agree with that. Okay, so you've heard the reading of the committee report.
Move to accept the committee report.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to accept the committee's report. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, moving on to ordinances and resolutions. How many do we have? Was there 6
There are
before?
7.
7, okay. The first 7 first 7 ordinances have been given their first reading at the last council meeting. So go ahead and proceed.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the General Fund, Street Fund, Park Fund, and Coronavirus Relief Fund in the following sums. New equipment, municipal building in the amount of $7,000. These funds are needed for carpeting and paint for the tax office, council chambers, and basement classroom. Office supplies, street construction, maintenance, and repair in the amount of $8,000. These funds are needed to cover unforeseen expenses related to unemployment benefits for prior employees. New equipment park in the amount of $500. These funds are needed for disc golf equipment and were provided by donations. Refunds park in the amount of $350. These funds are needed for refunds for park shelter rentals. And salaries, Coronavirus Relief Fund in the amount of $454,635.29. These funds are needed to cover COVID-19 related salaries.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, read the ordinance by title for the 3rd time. Discussion? Call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
And, whoops. Next, we have a transfer ordinance.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the City of Greenville. This ordinance allows for transfers in the Coronavirus Relief Fund in the sum as follows. $550 from office supplies Coronavirus Relief to salaries Coronavirus Relief. $61.18 from new equipment Coronavirus Relief to salaries Coronavirus Relief. These funds are needed to cover COVID-19 related salaries.
Move to suspend the rules, give this 3rd reading by title only.
Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, read the ordinance by title 3rd time. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the City of Greenville.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
And next, we have an ordinance establishing zoning regulations for City of Greenville related to donation bin and was given its first reading.
An ordinance establishing the zoning regulations for the City of Greenville related to donation bins. This ordinance establishes the zoning regulations related to donation bins passed by the City Council during the public hearing on October 20th, 2020.
Mr. Council President, I move to suspend the rules, give this ordinance third reading.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to suspend the rules and read the ordinance by title third time. Discussion? Call a roll, please.
Bright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
An ordinance establishing the zoning regulations for the City of Greenville related to donation bins.
move to adopt,
Motion Mrs. Howdashell to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call a roll, please.
Bright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Okay, next we have an ordinance amending the zoning regulation for the city of Greenville related to fencing and was given its first reading.
An ordinance amending the zoning regulations for the City of Greenville related to fencing. This ordinance amends the zoning regulations related to fencing passed by City Council during the public hearing on October 20th, 2020.
move to suspend the rules and read this by title only, third time,
Motion Mrs. Howdashell to suspend the rules and read the ordinance by title for the third time. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Bright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
An ordinance amending the zoning regulations for the City of Greenville related to fencing.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to adopt the ordinance. Resolution. No, it's an ordinance, I'm sorry. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Bright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
And next, we have a resolution authorizing the Director of Public Safety Service to advertise for bids for the rendering of necessary materials, equipment, and labor in connection with sanitary storm sewer lining project and declaring an emergency. And again, was given its first reading.
A resolution authorizing the Director of Public Safety Service to advertise for bids for the rendering of necessary materials, equipment, and labor in connection with sanitary and storm sewer lining maintenance project and declaring an emergency. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to advertise for bids for the rendering of necessary materials, equipment, and labor regarding the sanitary sewer lining maintenance project, and this resolution has an emergency clause.
Move to suspend the rules and give this resolution its third reading by title only.
Motion, Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules and read the resolution by title third time. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Bright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the Director of Public Safety Service to advertise for bids for the rendering of necessary materials, equipment, and labor in connection with sanitary and storm sewer lining maintenance project and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt the emergency clause.
Motion, Mr. Rogers to adopt the emergency clause. Excuse me. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Bright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Move to adopt.
Who was that, John?
Yep.
Okay. I can't
Echo.
quite hear you. It sounds like an echo in here. Okay, motion by Mr. Baumgartner to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Bright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
And item number 6, authorizing the disposition of no longer needed motor vehicles and was given its first reading.
A resolution authorizing the disposition of no longer needed motor vehicles. This resolution authorizes the disposition of 5 no longer needed vehicles formerly used or held in conjunction with operations of the police department.
Move to suspend the rules and read this by title only, third time.
Motion, Mrs. Howdeshell, to suspend the rules and read the, what is it, ordinance?
Resolution.
Resolution by title, third time. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy-Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the disposition of no longer needed motor vehicles.
Motion to adopt.
Motion, Mr. Rogers, to adopt the resolution. Discussion? Call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy-Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
And next, we have an ordinance refunding payments made to the transit system back to the general fund was given its first reading.
An ordinance refunding payments made to the transit system back to the general fund. This ordinance refunds payments made to the transit system back to the general fund.
Move to suspend the rules, give this third reading by title only.
Motion from Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules and read the resolution by title third time. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy-Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
An ordinance refunding payments made to the transit system back to the general fund.
Move to
Move
adopt.
to,
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy-Shell,
yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
And number 8, we have a supplemental appropriations ordinance.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. This supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the general fund and CIP fund in the sum as follows. CIP transfers, elected auditor and treasurer in the amount of $40,000. These funds are needed for a transfer to the CIP fund. Street, alley utilities, light poles, street in the amount of $6,000. These funds are needed to cover street utilities through December 31st, 2020.
Move to suspend the rules and give this ordinance as reading by title only for the second and third time.
Motion, Mr. Whitaker, to suspend the rules, read the ordinance by title second and third time. Discussion?
Was part of this supposed to come off?
The next one, yes, the
Okay.
CIP fund was
Okay.
come off.
Yeah. Further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy-Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020.
Move to adopt this ordinance.
Motion, Mr. Howdeshell, to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy-Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
And item 9, a transfer ordinance.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the City of Greenville. This ordinance allows for transfers in the General Fund, Waterworks System Revenue Fund, and Street Fund in the sum as follows. $3,500 from Office Supplies Fire Department to New Equipment Fire Department. This transfer is needed so the fire department can purchase required equipment. $3,500 from Equipment Maintenance Fire Department to New Equipment Fire Department. This transfer is needed so the fire department can purchase required equipment. $65,000 from gas, oil, and vehicle maintenance waterworks system revenue to equipment maintenance waterworks system revenue. This transfer is needed to cover unexpected equipment repairs. $24,000 from street maintenance, equipment rental, street construction, maintenance, and repair to new equipment, street construction, maintenance, and repair. This transfer is needed to complete HVAC upgrades to the street department building and will result in substantial savings on utility bills.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion, Mr. Godwin, to suspend the rules and read the ordinance by title, second and third time. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville.
Move to
move
adopt.
to adopt,
Is that you? Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to adopt the ordinance. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
That was adopted.
Huh?
That was adopted.
Yes.
Yes.
And finally, number 10, a resolution authorizing the water superintendent to enter into contract with residents of the city for the replacement of lead water lines.
A resolution authorizing the water superintendent to enter into contract with residents of the city of Greenville for the replacement of lead water lines. This resolution authorizes the water superintendent to enter into a contract with the residents of the city of Greenville for the replacement of private lead water lines that run through residencies and businesses.
Move to suspend the rules and give this resolution second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules and read the resolution by title, second and third time. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the water superintendent to enter into contract with residents of the city of Greenville for the replacement of lead water lines. A resolution authorizing the water superintendent to enter into contract with residents of the city of Greenville for the replacement of lead water lines.
move to adopt,
Motion, Mrs. Howdeshell, to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, got through that. That concludes our ordinances and resolutions for this evening. I've done something I haven't been able to do for a long time. Sign the legislation when it's passed. I used to have to come back the next day or two and do that. I've done it tonight. That's pretty cool. All right. We have nothing under old or new business scheduled. Do we have some communications?
We received the monthly report of October from the Fire Department and Transit Department. Received a letter from DP&L for their raised rates. And we received a letter from Greenville City Schools for their thank you for our donation to their interactive media program.
That's it.
yeah. Mr. President,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the absentees for November.
Very good. Motion by Mrs. Howdeshell to excuse the absences for the month of November. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
Yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
and Whitaker.
Yes.
Okay, regarding, let me see that DP&L one just a minute, please. Yeah, the clerk received this from Dayton Power and Light regarding an increase in their rates. It is quite a lengthy communication. It would be on file for anyone to peruse if they so choose. And also, if you recall, we do have the option of the, what's it called? Aggregation. Yeah, from, for electric and natural gas, if you have taken part in that. So this DPNL rate increase would only apply to those persons in the city who have not opted to take the aggregation program that the city's involved in. Just checking with Mr. Delk, you said we have a couple more years to go on that?
Yeah, on our aggregation, but I think it does affect, because you pay DP&L for the distribution.
Okay,
And aggregation is actually for the power itself. So I think their rate is going up on both ends of the spectrum. Now, some people, it won't go up near as much because of the aggregation.
okay. Okay. Yeah, it's quite a lengthy packet of information here besides the cover letter that has, tons and tons of figures that corporations normally send out. Excuse me. So if you have any questions regarding your own personal bill, my recommendation would be to call or contact DP&L on that. So I just wanted to call it to everyone's attention. And if anyone else has any comments or questions about it, or whatever, you're welcome to speak up now.
Vector and Gas Company, they raised it probably 2 months ago or 3. They raised the delivery fee.
Oh, really?
Same as DP&L.
Mm-hmm.
So the increase is not there. It's not in the aggregates. It's in the delivery fees.
Right. Okay. Anything further? If nothing, we'll call down the council, please.
Right?
The only thing I've got, I contacted the mayor a few weeks ago about a privacy fence. One property owner already had up. Another property owner behind them put up another fence, and it's within around 6 inches of the other fence. I like to know how the owners are supposed to maintain their fence on the backside, taking care of the weeds. I called the zoning department about it. The zoning department said, well, get a ladder, get up on the ladder, spray over the top of the fence, kill the weeds. I told them, yeah, good answer. Isn't there a regulation on the distance from one fence to the other?
No. It's property line to property line.
That's wrong. How is the property owner supposed to maintain the fence?
I'm not here to get in an argument or discussion. I didn't set the policy. I'm just telling you what. the
Right, I
policy
know,
is.
I know. And I don't want no argument, but I'd
Right.
just like to know why there wasn't a distance put in from one property line to the other one. But now both owners one's got an old fence, one's got a new fence, and they're 6 inches from each other. And there's no way either can maintain the fence.
I think the only way to handle that is if we had a setback from property lines for all fences, but most property owners have said that they want their fences close to the property line as possible. So absent that situation, you turn into a race to see who can put up a fence first. And I think in those situations where you have abutting fences, most people then kind of flip the fence around and they maintain it on the inside, and you'll see people kind of put the fences up backwards. But it's not a unique problem to that. I've seen it. I think it's the same way at my parents' house, frankly, that their neighbors have a fence right up against theirs.
Smart. I'll pass.
Baumgartner,
Yeah, just a few things. So condolences to the Fee family and the Garvin family. Mike and I used to be neighbors. I missed that. So thank you for sharing that. Great guy, great family. And then also kudos to the street department. Coming up here tonight, the lights are not all on. They don't have them on the circle, but what's on really looks good. So make sure you pass that along.
I will. Thank
With
you.
that, I pass.
Godwin,
The condolences to the Mike Garvin family. When I was running for the Greenville Fire Department, I did run with Mike on a few runs, and, he'll be missed, and Barbara Fee, condolences to their family too. And with that, I'll pass.
Howdy Shell,
I'd like to send all my love to the Barb Fee family. Her and I was very close, and she will be very missed. And with that, I pass.
Rogers,
Yeah, we've got a holiday coming up here very soon, and with the virus and everything, just ask that you use guidance and be as safe as possible. Pass.
Schmidt,
I did have one thing I wanted to bring up. I didn't have a chance to get a hold of Mike or Ryan, either one yet, but I've had two different individuals approach me about the early bird newspapers being delivered with, it seems like they don't get put in a uniform place all the time, and there's even been some people that have requested not to receive it, and they're still being dropped. They were just concerned with maybe an overabundance of these things being dropped off, whether there's anything that could be done, or whether we even have anything, any sort of ordinance about that now. And like I said, I apologize. I haven't had a opportunity to approach anyone about it, but I did want to share that, maybe just kick off some discussion at some point that maybe we need to look into that or review it and see if there's anything that could be done or needs to be done about that. And I wanted to bring that up, and then also wanted to wish everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And with that, I will pass.
Whitaker,
First of all, I want to express my condolences to my friends Eric and Kristen Fee on the loss of their mother, Barbara. And thanks to them and to their family for allowing Barbara to serve the community the way she did, and serving again as treasurer for Greenville for 11 years. Want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And last of all, this might be a touchy subject, but I'm going to say it anyway. I just want to encourage people as they go out and about in the community. It's been a long haul with this COVID-19 thing, but just be smart. Wear your masks where you need to wear them, and let's try to keep the businesses open by wearing masks when they request that masks be worn, so they don't get shut down by the governor's office. So with that, I'll pass.
President Burkett,
Yeah, I'd like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the veterans organizations for the little ceremony that was conducted downtown on 4th and Broadway in front of by the courthouse on November the 11th at 11 o'clock. Wasn't well attended, but still it was done with the utmost honor to the veterans, and we do appreciate that. If in the future the city can be of a service to those organizations in preparing and providing police protection or traffic control, I'm sure the city would be most happy to do that in the future. So please contact us if you will. Again, in retrospect to Barbara Fee, we shared a lot of interesting times talking, both cancer survivors. And she's a neat lady. And she will be missed, as I said, not only as a treasurer, but as a community person, because she helped a lot with the community as a whole. And that speaks well of herself and all of her family. So again, thank you. I too would like to wish everyone a really safe and happy Thanksgiving coming up. Again, be careful. This is not a joke, and there's a lot of people thought, oh, gee, after the election, it's all going to go away. Well, trust me, folks, it has not. And please be diligent and be cautious, because all of us are susceptible. So please be very careful. And with that, I would entertain a motion that we adjourn.
So moved.
Motion of Mrs. Howatell to adjourn. Call the roll, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Thank you all for your attendance and have a good evening.
Good night,
Adjourned.
all.